It's not easy being me. This is the 5th day of spring. Maybe the 4th, I don't know, I lost track. But the first 4 days of spring, I was down to 2 layers. It was 10 degrees, 12 degrees. Yesterday it was 14 degrees. Today I'm back to 4 layers. It's 0 degrees, cloudy. So I don't know why I waited till today to make this video, but as I think about it, I wish I made it yesterday. But today, what I'm going to be talking about is something that you may not know about me, and that is I like to watch YouTube videos. And lately I've been seeing a lot of videos that have titles like how to survive this or that. And my favorite is starting to become how to survive a long haul flight. There seems to be a lot of those. In fact, if you put that in the search box for YouTube, you're going to find, well, I don't know how many you're going to find, but let's say it's a lot. Now, as far as surviving a long haul flight, we have to do 2 things. One, we have to define what a long haul flight is. And I don't think there is a definition, but I guess it's just a long plane ride where you don't have any stops. You just get on the plane, and then a long time later, you get off the plane. So I guess that's a long haul flight. I guess a long haul flight might be New York, Los Angeles, or Tokyo to Moscow, or something like that. It's just a long, long flight. The other thing is the use of the word survive. Now, I don't know how many people have actually died on airplanes, but I can guarantee you that not too many of them have died because they forgot their neck pillow or they didn't have their water bottle. Just as a side note, I've seen lots of people on airplanes with neck pillows. You know, those things that look like horseshoes, and they put them around their neck. But I think almost 90% of the time when I see people using those, they have them on backwards. I don't use a neck pillow. I don't need a neck pillow. Or at least I think I don't need a neck pillow. But they have them on backwards. They don't even know how to wear them. And these are probably the same people that would swear by needing one on a long haul flight. I might have to check this out. Oh, it's today too, 12 to 6. Well, I'm a few hours early, but cabbage and noodle soup. In addition to a neck pillow, a lot of these travelers talk about the need for noise-canceling headphones. Now, we're not talking about these little earbuds that you stick in your ears so you can listen to music or something. We're talking about these big, gigantic headphones that you used to see radio announcers wearing, 30 years ago. These things are gigantic. Another thing they must have that you cannot survive the flight without is an eye mask. Now, how an eye mask is better than just simply closing your eyes, I don't know. If you've ever actually been on a long haul flight, then you probably already know that for some reason, airlines like to close the windows nowadays, or put down the shades, or whatever the proper term is. So the cabin is usually pretty dark to begin with. What the eye mask is supposed to do, I don't know. But I've always been successful in getting some sleep by simply closing my eyes. I should make a video about that, how to do it, when to do it, the benefits of having your eyes closed, things like that. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. Not in this video, of course, but in some future video, I'll have to do some research and figure out the best way to close your eyes and make your brain think it's dark. I get a lot of good ideas while I'm out walking. I think it's important to realize that when you do go on a long haul flight, usually you don't dread it. People look forward to it. I know anytime I do it, I actually look forward to a long trip like that. I used to enjoy long drives where I would come home from wherever I was working, come home to Carbondale here for the holidays. It usually required a ridiculously long road trip, but I always look forward to it, even though would take me an entire day, sometimes 2 days. It was always something I look forward to. It's the same way with long airplane rides. When we say how to survive a long haul flight, that's mainly so that you can have a catchy title for your YouTube video. I started to wonder why people do things like that. And I think it's because it's like a humble brag where you want to try to show people that you had a long haul flight, and this is how you do it. You get off the plane, or a couple days later you make a video about how you just barely survived it, and this is how you did it. Maybe I'm just too cynical, but I think that's where a lot of this stuff comes from. But in addition to many of the things that these people say that you have to bring with you, like your neck pillow, your eye mask, and your headphones, they also have a lot of little travel accessories that they like to bring. Spritzers to freshen up, their moisturizing spritzer, their passport wallet. Believe me, you don't need a passport wallet. It's just one more thing to lose. And I know what you're thinking. But Bill, where do I put my passport? Here's a tip. Put it in your pocket. You'll never forget it. Passport wallet, when you take it out, you're going to get your passport out. You'll probably have your boarding pass stuck in there. You might have some money, a driving license or some other kind of credit card. You might have a lot of different things in your passport wallet. And since you don't carry your passport with you all the time, then you're going to take your passport wallet out, say at a 7-Eleven, buy a Coke, and since the passport wallet isn't something that you're used to carrying, you're going to leave it there in the 7-Eleven. So you're going to lose your passport, you're going to lose any money you had in there, you're going to lose anything else in there that had any kind of value at all, and you're going to be stuck, all because you thought you needed a new kind of personal accessory in order to take a trip. Don't fall for stuff like that. You don't need a passport wallet. No one needs a passport wallet. I guess I'm aware of these videos now because I'm getting ready for my own long haul flight or flights coming up within the month. Now, the thing I dread, and this is really something that bugs me, is that if you're sitting next to a long haul flight survivalist on an aircraft, they're going to have all kinds of equipment with them in the seat. These are not travelers who are minimalists, let's put it that way. They have everything they own with them on the plane. They're scared to death of checking anything, I guess. Now, I have to say, I've been on a lot of flights, short and long, and so far, I have never lost a bag. Now, I know that in the summer of 22, it was a big deal, but I have never suffered from anything like that. I've never lost a bag. So if you're traveling and you have a big bag, please don't bring it on the plane. Check it. You're not going to lose it. Well, the other reason I should have made the video earlier in the week when it was warmer is because standing around and talking in 0-degree weather, it's cold. It's not a long walk today, but I have a lot of work to do at the house this weekend. Actually, it has to be done today. I have guests coming, and I have a lot of cleaning to do. For you Carbondale fans, this is the corner of River and Dundas and Salem. These new buildings here, they're fairly new. They're medical offices run by the Geisinger hospital chain or health chain. This is the bridge across the Lackawanna River. That used to be the First National Bank, that big building there. And I think now it's called the Anthracite Center. And this is the barber shop that I used to go to when I was a little kid. It's a new building. The barber shop, the old one, is torn down. It used to be to the right of that building. It's not there anymore. I'm now at the corner of Lincoln and North Main. That building right there used to be the old post office. It's now a daycare center. And that building right there used to be a car wash, but it's now a coffee/donut shop. They have great donuts, by the way. I haven't tried the coffee yet, but they do have very good donuts. Anyway, this is the original entrance to what used to be called the Carbondale YMCA. It's now known as the Upper Valley Y, I think. I could be wrong about that. But this is not the main entrance anymore, but I did spend a lot of time on these front steps, especially during the summertime. And right across the street from the Y is the Binmar restaurant. I think it's still called the Binmar, but I'm not sure about that. You can look it up. It's a very good Italian restaurant in town. I'm back in my neighborhood now. So I'm going to wrap up this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Hey folks, thanks for watching. A recent study by J.D. Power and Associates found that 98% of those who subscribe to this channel have all of their wildest dreams come true. Think about it. Be seeing you.